The rhythmic sound coming from the patio made me look up from my book. It sounded methodical, like a barber working quickly. I walked outside and felt my soul leave my body. My nephew, Leo, 9M, was standing over my grandfather's 40-year-old Juniper Bonsai, holding a pair of heavy-duty kitchen poultry shears. He was surrounded by a pile of green, ancient branches. The tree. Oh God, the tree. My grandfather had spent 4 decades training that juniper. It had a cascading Kengai style, a twisted trunk that looked like it had survived 1,000 storms, and delicate pads of foliage that were pruned with microscopic precision. It was an heirloom. It was art. It was appraised at over $2,500, but the sentimental value was infinite. Now, it looked like a lollipop. Leo had sheared off every single cascading branch. He had cut the main leader. He had hacked the intricate cloud formations into a tight, jagged ball. He had turned a masterpiece into a shrub. "Leo," I whispered. My throat closed up. Leo looked up at me. He was beaming. He looked proud. "Hi, Uncle OP," he chirped, snapping the scissors. I gave him a haircut. He looked messy. Messy. I walked toward the pot, my legs feeling like jelly. I knelt down and picked up a branch. It was thick, woody, a branch that had taken 20 years to grow that specific curve. It was severed cleanly at the base. "Yeah," Leo said, kicking the pile of greenery. It was all hanging down and crooked. "Mom says messy hair is bad. So I fixed it. Now it looks like the bushes at the mall." I stared at the mall bush. The sap was bleeding from the cuts. The tree was in shock. It wasn't just ugly, it was likely dying. You can't just hack a juniper like that without killing it. My sister, Sarah, walked out onto the patio, holding a glass of iced tea. "What are you boys doing?" she asked, smiling. Then she saw the tree, or what was left of it. "Oh wow," she said. "Leo, did you do that?" "Yes." Leo puffed out his chest. "I helped." "It looks so much neater," Sarah said, tilting her head. "Good job, honey. OP, aren't you going to thank him? That old tree always looked like it was falling over. Now it's nice and round." I stood up. I turned to face my sister. I was shaking so hard I had to clench my fists to hide it. "Thank him." I choked out. "Sarah, this tree is 40 years old. Grandpa started it in the 80s. It was a Kengai style. It was supposed to hang down." "Well, it looked dead," Sarah shrugged. "Honestly, OP, it was an eyesore. Leo did you a favor. It looks cute now. Like a little pom-pom." "He killed it," I said. "He cut off 40 years of growth. This tree is worth $2,000. Sarah laughed. $2,000? For a plant? Stop lying. You can buy a bush at Home Depot for $10. Don't be mean to Leo just because he has a better eye for landscaping than you." "A better eye?" I pointed to the pile of severed branches. "He butchered it. He destroyed an heirloom. It's just a plant." Sarah snapped, her smile vanishing. "It grows back. That's what plants do. Stop being such a drama queen. You're scaring him." Leo was looking back and forth between us, confused. "Did I do good?" "You did great, sweetie," Sarah said, glaring at me. "Your uncle is just being grumpy because he likes ugly things." I looked at the bleeding stumps of my grandfather's legacy. I looked at the kitchen scissors in Leo's hand. "Get out," I said. "What?" "Get out of my house. Right now. Get out." Sarah repeated, blinking. "You're kicking your sister out because your nephew did some gardening." "Gardening?" I pointed to the mutilated stump. "Sarah, look at it. He cut off the gin. He cut off the pads. This tree is in shock. It will probably die within the week." "Oh, stop it." Sarah rolled her eyes, sipping her tea. "It's a bush. OP, bushes don't die from a haircut. Look at the hedges in front of my house. The landscapers hack them every month and they grow back in a week. This will be fluffy and green again by July. You'll see." "In a week." I felt like I was screaming into a void. "Sarah, this is a juniper. It grows maybe an inch a year. Those branches he cut? Those took 40 years to shape. You can't just grow back history." 40 years. Sarah laughed. It was a loud, disbelief-filled cackle. You expect me to believe that tiny little thing is older than me? If it was 40 years old, it would be a giant tree. You got scammed. OP, someone sold you a runt and told you a fairy tale. It's a bonsai. I yelled. That's the point. It's kept small through root pruning and wiring. It's an art form. It's a stunted plant, she corrected. And honestly, it was ugly. All twisted and dead-looking. Leo fixed it. Look how round it is now. It looks like those nice topiaries at Disney World. You should be thanking him for modernizing it. Leo looked up, emboldened by his mother. Yeah, I made it look like a ball. You killed it, I whispered, picking up a severed branch. The wood was dense and aged. You killed my grandfather's tree. Grandpa was a hoarder, Sarah scoffed. He kept all kinds of junk. Just because he kept a dying plant doesn't mean it's valuable. I'm doing you a favor, OP. I'm decluttering your life. I have an appraisal. I shouted. I have a certificate from the Bonsai Society. This tree is insured for $2,500. Sarah stared at me. Then she shook her head with pity. You pay insurance. On a plant. She looked at me like I was insane. OP, you need help. That is obsessive behavior. It's a potted plant. You can get a juniper at Lowe's for $12. I know, because I bought 3 for my front yard. I'll go buy you one right now if it will make you stop crying. I don't want a Lowe's bush. I snapped. I want this tree. The one you let your son destroy while you were drinking tea. I was supervising, she lied. I watched him the whole time. He was being so careful with the scissors. He didn't hurt himself, which is the only thing that matters. Property can be replaced. People can't. This property cannot be replaced. I roared. It is unique. It is dead. Well, if it dies, it's because you have bad energy, she said, finishing her tea. Plants respond to vibes, OP. And your vibes are toxic right now. Come on, Leo. Let's go. Your uncle is having a tantrum over a shrub. She grabbed Leo's hand. Leo dropped the scissors on the patio. Clatter. I'm leaving, Sarah said. And I'm not paying you a dime. If you want a new plant, go dig one up in the woods. They are free. She walked to the gate. If you leave, I called out, my voice shaking, I'm filing a lawsuit. Sue me, she laughed, pushing the gate open. Tell the judge you're mad because your tree got a haircut. He'll laugh you out of the courtroom. She slammed the gate. I stood alone on the patio. The smell of fresh-cut pine filled the air. It smelled like a funeral. She thought it was a shrub. She thought it would grow back in a week. I picked up the scissors. I picked up the branches. I wasn't going to Lowe's. I was going to the hidden garden, the bonsai nursery where the master lives. I needed a death certificate. And then, I was going to prune my family tree. I loaded the mutilated tree into my car like I was transporting a critical patient. I drove an hour to the hidden garden, a specialized nursery run by Mr. Tanaka, a man who had known my grandfather. When I placed the pot on his workbench, Mr. Tanaka went silent. He touched the raw, weeping cuts where the cascading branches used to be. Who did this? He asked softly. My nephew, I said, with kitchen scissors. Mr. Tanaka shook his head. The shock alone will likely kill it. But even if it survives, the art is gone. The 40 years of training, the Kengai form, it is erased. This is no longer a bonsai. It is just a stump. He wrote me an official appraisal. Item, Juniper procumbens nana, 40+ years old. Style, cascade, destroyed. Condition, critical of fatal damage. Replacement value, $2,800. The pot, an antique tokename, was also chipped when Leo kicked it. The invoice. I didn't text Sarah. I sent her a certified letter. I included Mr. Tanaka's appraisal, photos of the tree before and after, and a formal demand for $2,800. She called my mom. My mom called me. OP, you can't be serious, Mom sighed. You're suing your sister over a plant? She says you can buy them at the mall for $20. It wasn't a mall plant, Mom, I said. It was Grandpa's tree, the one he worked on every Sunday. Leo destroyed Grandpa's legacy. That shut her up. She hadn't realized which tree it was. "Oh," she whispered. "Oh no." The court case. I filed in small claims court. Sarah showed up without a lawyer. She brought a potted juniper she bought at Home Depot. It was 6 inches tall and looked like a stick in dirt. "Your Honor," she told the judge, slamming the plastic pot on the table. "My brother is a scammer. He had a dead bush. I replaced it with this healthy, green one. It cost me $12.99. He wants $3,000. It's robbery." I walked up to the bench. I handed the judge the appraisal from Mr. Tanaka. I handed him the photos of the tree in its glory, a cascading waterfall of green. "Your Honor," I said, "this is not about the species. It is about the age and the training. A bonsai is a living sculpture. Destroying it is like slashing a painting." The judge, an older woman who looked like she appreciated patience, looked at the Home Depot plant. Then she looked at the photos of my grandfather's tree. The judge said to Sarah, "You cannot replace a 40-year-old tree with a seedling. That is like replacing a vintage wine with grape juice. The value lies in the time." "But it grows back." Sarah screamed. "It's nature." "You cut off 40 years of nature," the judge said. The verdict: judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $2,800 plus court costs. Sarah turned red. "I'm not paying. It's a weed." "It's a judgment," the judge said. The aftermath. She refused to pay. I garnished her wages. Every month, I get a check. It feels like blood money, but I take it. The tree did die. I kept the wood. Mr. Tanaka helped me strip the bark and preserve the trunk as tanuki, a technique where you attach a new, young tree to deadwood to make it look old. It's growing again. Slowly. Sarah is banned from my house. Leo is banned. My mom visits, but she leaves her purse in the car. I learned that day that some people see a forest and see only lumber, and those people should never be allowed near the scissors.